Now let's look at this question. They've given you a sketch of y equals sine x. If they don't give you the sketch, you just got to remember the graph from this range. That's the graph of sine x. Now if you remember its period, it's when it repeats, equals 360, you could see that this would continue like that. So even if they ask you to increase the range, you could do that quite easy. So this must be 360. Remember that it's symmetrical at part, so that is quite easy to remember. That's 180. Now you need to remember that the range of it is from 1 to -1. So when you see it's asking for the coordinates of point A, well, point A is right in the middle of that, so that must be 90. So that answer is 90 and 1. So you can see how easy it is to answer this exam question if you can remember the graph or some key facts of the graph. Now state the coordinates of B. Well, if you know that's minus 360, then that must be minus 180, and you can see the y values at 0, so that answer is minus 180 and 0. That's quite easily done. Now this question is easier than it seems. All you need to know is some triangle facts without understanding trigonometry that much, only at grades 5 to 6 really. So first step is, can you recognise that triangles are isosceles? If this is 90, these angles must be 90 divided by 2, which is 45, because angles in a triangle equal 180. So that's 45. It doesn't really matter which one you choose as 45. It says work out the exact value of sine 45. So I'm going to choose this as the angle I'm going to use. So that's the hypotenuse, that's the adjacent, that's the opposite. And you should know that mnemonic. So sine x equals opposite over hypotenuse, and in this instance it's sine 45 equals O over H. Sub those values in, so sine 45 equals 1 over root 2. Now let's look at this. Use the triangles below to work out the exact value of cos 30. And I've seen a GCSE question exactly like this. So we've got the hypotenuse, adjacent and the opposite. We don't need the opposite because we're using k. So we know cos x equals adjacent over hypotenuse. We just sub the values in, but we know we're doing cos of 30. So that equals root 3 over 2. Now this second part is where we need to know the trig values. So that's the question again. So remember that's hypotenuse and A. So cos 30 equals root 3 over 2. So cos 30, let's go. This is the cos graph, if you can remember it. Very similar to sine, but it just starts at 1. So that's 30 degrees. And we know that is root 3 over 2. So where is 330? Can we see? That's 360 here. Look at the symmetry. This point. And maybe it would help if I do a line of symmetry at 180. So, can you see it's plus 30 this way from 0? And from C360 it's minus 30. So, cos 330 equals root 3 over 2. So the graph helps you. And I guess if you can remember the formula, cos x equals cos 360 minus x, then you can answer that straight away. But if you struggle to remember loads of formulas and you need to remember the graph anyway, it's quite easily done from the graph. And there you go, that's pretty straightforward, right? And so, like I said, if you remember the formula, then you know cos 30 will equal cos 360 as x is 30 minus 30. So you can jump to the answer cos 330. Personally, I don't really remember the formulas, I remember the graphs, and that's all you need, and the graphs help you remember the formula afterwards, so you can derive it